Chapter 39 of Women of History. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Arlene Stebbins. Women of History by Anonymous. Chapter 39. Esther Inglis, 1600. Ballard. Remarkable for her calligraphy, the chief thing I have to mention concerning her. All that see her writing are astonished at it, upon the account of its exactness, its fineness, and variety, and many are of opinion that nothing can be more exquisite. Gazius, Ascham, Davies, Gething, Light, and many others have been celebrated for their extraordinary talents in this way, but this lady has excelled them all, what she has done being most incredible. One of the many delicate pieces she wrote was in the custody of Mr. Samuel Kellow, her great-grandson, in 1711. Others are remaining at the Castle of Edinburgh. Mr. Hearne saw one in the hands of Philip Harcourt, Esquire, entitled Historiae Memorabilis Genesis per Esther Inglis Edinburghi, anno 1600. In the archives of Christ Church in Oxford are the Psalms of David, written in French with her own hand, and presented to Queen Elizabeth by Mrs. Inglis herself, and were by that princess given to this library. In the archives in Bodley's library are two more of her manuscripts, preserved with great care. One of them is entitled Les 6 vains et 6 quartins de Guy de Feur, Sieur de Pibray, écrit Esther Inglis pour son dernier adieu ce 21e jour de June 1617. In this second leaf, in capital letters, to the right worshipful my very singular friend Joseph Hall, Doctor of Divinity and Dean of Worcestershire, Esther Inglis wisheth all increase of true happiness, Junii 21, 1616. In the third leaf, her head, painted on a card, and pasted upon the leaf. The title of the other book is Les Proverbes de Salomon, écrits in divers sortes de lettres par Esther Inglis Françoise, à Lillebourg en Écosse, 1599. This delicate performance gains the admiration of all who see it. Every chapter is wrote in a different hand, as is the dedication, and some other things at the beginning of the book, which makes her near 40 several sorts of hands. The beginnings and endings of the chapters are adorned with the most beautiful head and tail pieces, and the margins are elegantly decorated with the pen, in imitation, I suppose, of the elegant old manuscripts. The book is dedicated to the Earl of Essex, Queen Elizabeth's great favourite. At the beginning are his arms, neatly drawn, with all its quarterings, in number 56. In the fifth leaf is her own picture, done with a pen in the habit of the time. In her right hand a pen, the left resting upon a book opened, in one of the leaves of which is written, De l'Éternel le bien, de moi le mal, ou rien. On the table before her there is likewise a music book lying open, which perhaps intimates that she had some skill in that art. Under the picture is an epigram in Latin, written by Andrew Melvin, and in the next page another composed by the same author in Latin, of which the following is a translation. One hand Dame Nature's mimic does express Her larger figures to the life in less. In the rich border of her work do stand, Afresh created by her curious hand, The various signs and planets of the sky, Which seem to move and twinkle in our eye. Much we the work, much more the hand admire, Her fancy guiding this does raise our wonder higher. It appears that she lived unmarried until she was about 40, and then, I find by a memorandum made by my late friend Mr. Hearne, in a spare leaf at the beginning of her manuscript of the Proverbs of Solomon, that she was married to Mr. Bartholomew Kellow, or Kelly, a Scotchman, by whom she had a son, named Samuel Kellow, who was educated in Christ Church College, Oxon. End of chapter 39.